gentlemen, before anything else in this review, we have a very important thing to do. Pink.
Alright, let's do it!
No, stop. Copyrighted. Check your privilege. God damn it. Well, do what I asked. Thank you. It's kind of magenta, but it's alright. Now, would you like to explain to the nice people why it's pink?
Find out.
We'll find out. Okay. Yeah, no. Fuck you. Fine, we'll skip ahead. We watched a movie today. Biggs, you got one more line. You better fucking deliver.
Zombie Hunter.
Zombie Hunter. Now you can shut the fuck up for the rest of the time.
I picked it.
You know what? No more pink. Just because of that. Fix it. Damn straight. Alright. Zombie Hunter. Movie starring Danny Trejo and other people. You want to hear the plot? Cool, because I'll tell you.
That was it.
Yeah, it stars Danny Trejo and other people. Alright, so the movie opens up and you got these people who are trying out this new drug called Natus or something. I'm going to call it Pepto. It's Pepto. It's pink and pink. Pink. Joke.
Very.
/ joke.
Kicked it out of the ballpark with that one.
Nailed it. Alright, all these druggies are trying to think, and then, it turns some of them into zombies because drugs do that.
Alright, I gotta say one thing.
Okay.
These guys must have been some really hardcore users to be doing this, because the thing is, apparently, all these other side effects they weren't even exhibiting at this point.
Mm-hmm. It was just like, dead face, like, yeah, no, everything's fine. Inject, no, cool.
Okay, as you go.
Alright, so fast forward 1 year later, because that fucking scene
it actually does that.
You got this guy named Hunter. Not named Hunter, he is the Hunter. We don't know his name. He's called Craig now. Canon. So, Craig, he's going across the wilderness, and he's doing stuff in his cool car, and he hits a zombie, and then, he gets shot by a dude from far away, and when they comes to, all these people who have also survived, which he didn't know anyone else did survive, all these other people survived are around me. He's like, oh my god, I just need to get out of here, because I'm a lone wolf, and I don't work well.
Because I have to be Mel Gibson from The Road Warrior.
So then he's, he's trying to get out of there with his cool car and stuff. But his car's totaled, and he kind of hangs around because he got it for this one chick. And, this other hotter chick's got it for him. Long story. So then they find out that, the zombies got into their place that wasn't all that secure, including this really big motherfucker.
It wasn't the prison, guys.
These other people ended up dying, and then they escaped. And they were like, look, we're going to get an airplane, and we're going to go to Hawaii. And so then they make it through this one town that's called Dahmer. And Dahmer's full of these things called Zarnies. Well, just one Zarnie. And it's just a freaky-ass looking clown dude who also ends up killing them because he's just fucked up. He's not actually a zombie, he's just fucked up. So he,
Zarnie. Z-Arnie. Zombie Carney.
You just blew my fucking mind. Well, here. They call the normal zombies eaters. What's that short for?
Flesh eaters.
Get it again. Fucking wizard. Anyway. Oh, right. Sorry. Fast forwarded over a bit. There's a dude named Jesus named Danny Trejo. He kills zombies. But then this big...
With a woodcutter's axe.
Yeah, but then this big-ass zombie shows up, which somehow evolved from a junkie. Yeah, sorry, no logic. Got it. So then Danny Trejo's like, you all go on out. Well, sorry, I can't do Danny Trejo. You all go on out, and he was fighting the zombie thing. He ended up killing it, but he died himself in the process. Halfway through the movie.
He was only in the movie for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, total screen time. It wasn't very good. But he was top billed, so, whatever. Rest of the movie, they're trying to get to Hawaii, so they're going to fly there with a guy named Jerry, and then there's a brother and sister named Allison, who's hooking up with Hunter Craig, and then there's Fastlane Debbie, who wants to hook up with Hunter Craig, but she's just a slut, so whatever. And then there's Ricky, who's got some disorder, man.
He's from the Ozarks.
Yeah.
I just insulted a lot of people. I apologize, but to be fair, guys, you guys are the people that they based Deliverance on.
All right, moving on. So then they get through this town called Dahmer, and
I live in Carroll County. I get
and
it.
Bizarrely named Funny Man, who's got like clown makeup and stuff. He ends up killing the slut. Just the slut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just the
He
slut.
killed a lot of people before they got there.
Oh no, he's
And he's playing like hide and go seek with their fucking truck. What? How did he start up the truck, and how did they?
Hearing it?
That's I have a problem with that, but
Don't
we'll
apply
get to it.
logic.
We'll get to it. We'll
All
get
right.
to the problems with a lot of that shit.
After
in this
that
movie.
point, the hunter ends up killing the Funny Man, and they make it to a little airplane that's totally not harmed in any way by the zombie apocalypse. Fucking hell. So they, sorry, the eater apocalypse. So then they take the airplane, but it needs gasoline, and they don't actually get to the gasoline part because there were other zombies around. So then they're all fighting the zombies. Jerry, the one guy who could fly the plane, dies. So
he gets disemboweled.
That leaves Allison, her brother Ricky, and Hunter Craig. And they're all fighting their way out of this little shed, which of course had just the biggest munitions wall you've ever seen. Not actually, it's not that big, but it's decent. So then they're fighting their way out, but again, there's like 3 of those big boomer zombies now. So
they are the boomers.
Yeah, so he's like, I'll fight them off. And so he's like, aiming the gun. He's like, well, I sure hope I have another shot. Like,
it's not the sound you want to hear.
And then he gets stabbed through the stomach, but he had a grenade earlier, which allows them to escape because, I don't know, explosions. And so when they escape, they do the exact same thing that they did in I Am Legend, which is like, she's doing the over monologue of like, I know his sacrifice won't be in vain because he let us survive.
I don't know what he's searching for, but I hope he finds it.
And then you cut back to him, and he's actually still alive. And then he kills himself just so he can go to hell and like fight the devil or something.
Well, also he wasn't getting away from that, but at the same time, like, the fact of the matter is, like, all right, no, there's no way he survived that.
No.
The grenade was right there. I don't care how souped up on weird drugs you are. And that's all right. That's one thing. And diving into the actual movie, when it comes into the actual writing, they don't. I love how this movie starts off with a news report about this drug that's turning people rabid, basically, which is actually a ripoff of an idea from an old college movie back in 2007 called Side Effects, which was a zombie drug-induced film. But, I mean, no, a vampire one. But at the same time, there's the news report, and they're going about, like, who manufactured this drug and whatnot. I'm like,
thanks to Pepto.
They never fucking explain it.
No.
There's no umbrella corporation behind this. Like, you know, like, there's like, at least Side Effects, for as shitty as that movie that was, they had a reason for it being around.
Here's the thing.
Even though it had something to do with the Middle Ages and witchcraft and shit.
It's called Natus. I'm calling it Pepto because it's super pink. It's the nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, zombie apocalypse. So, it's fucking Pepto. That's all it is. It's just pink all the time. Pink is the color of the day.
There's pink blood, spray, all on the
exactly
camera.
What happens. And I'm going to blow your mind. Not actually. Not like the Zarni thing. That was wild. So, this movie, for some reason, made a conscious effort to make this as pink as possible. Now, I'm not just saying that as like, oh well, maybe they're just going for something. They certainly had like an '80s synth vibe sort of thing, like a
besides the dubstep shit.
Yeah, like a shoegaze rock sort of thing. It's had that sort of vibe. But was it Drive? You said.
Yeah, Drive was a very '80s homage.
Right. That's what it had, that sort of thing, but it didn't have to be pink. And here's my evidence. They made all the blood pink.
For the most part.
But it was obviously digitally colored in. Super obviously. Because, besides just looking at it, there was one scene where the one girl, Allison, got blood on her white tank top. Huh. So we should be seeing Pepto stains all over that white pant. No, it was red. And she moved too much for them to color correct it. So it was just red. They originally had the blood be red, and then toned it down for some reason.
It could have been possibly for the taxi driver reason, where the blood, and being too realistic and whatnot, made the movie got a rating they didn't want. Or most likely they were just trying to pick a theme in the color. Because the guy who did all the animation was the same guy who was the colorist.
Here's the question. Why pink? Why pink? It's not a threatening color. When I see... It's like cutting open a zombie's head and seeing fucking confetti fly out of it. I'm not terrified by this. I'm not disgusted by this. I'm like, oh, rainbows and unicorns. Okay, that's my rant. That's all I really wanted. I don't even care.
No, the problem, like, there are definitely aspects of this movie that we're trying. Danny, I don't know if Danny was trying or not.
Danny
at the
was
same
there,
time,
but he delivered.
Danny was there. Danny was there, and I love Danny Trejo. Even though the majority of the movies he's in are not great, but at the same time, they're wonderful. They're wonderful to watch, mainly because of his performance. But also at the same time, he sometimes gets some really interesting supporting cast. Machete was fun. It wasn't a good movie, but it was fun, and I'm a big Rodriguez fan. But this movie, there were parts of it that I'm like, alright, you have something you can possibly work with. When they started bringing in the Resident Evil, like, the giant creature type things that look like Nemesis makes the liquors and all that jazz, like, that's when shit started getting silly. But at the same time, beforehand, alright, this is the problem I said in the movie.
Hold on. Sorry, real quick. Just have to point out. We were confused the entire time over the fact that actually, you know what? Continue onwards. Sorry. I need to focus on this idea a little bit more. It's something. It's something.
It gets back to the writing here. When it comes down to this movie, the main problem that I had with it was that there are a lot of these things follow the stereotypes, and a lot of this stuff is tongue-in-cheek. It is trying to be really almost a parody of this type of genre. But the thing is, with this movie, everything is accelerated way too fucking quickly. Even in parody movies, there's some aspect of the characters you have to relate to. None of these characters I gave two shits about. Except Danny. Just because he's fun. I'm familiar with him, and also at the same time, he's a batshit crazy preacher who wields as a woodcutter's axe. That's pretty cool.
Let's just go over the characters real quick.
And he does it to dubstep.
Yeah.
Which is a personal plus for me.
Alright, so Hunter Craig.
One of the few times it actually works, but keep going.
Hunter Craig, he is your generic, I've had problems in the past, and here's my backstory that makes me a lone wolf, and I don't know if I made it up again, sort of thing. Fuck this fucking guy. Why he hates the zombies so much, fucking
because his family was
wife
killed
and
by
daughter
them.
were killed on his birthday!
So it's like everybody.
Oh, God!
You ain't gonna kill 7 billion people, man.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like he's personally out to kill every single one. You got a few more than you can probably
You're a little undermatched.
Next thing.
Just a little bit.
Next person we should mention is Allison, the love interest. She's essentially...
She's cute.
Yeah, she starts off as your nice, sweet, innocent girl, but she's clashing heads with...
Close. She starts off with it for like maybe the beginning of the scene, and then she just gets like, alright, you know, this is exactly where this is going. The tits are about to be revealed.
So, she's clashing heads with a girl named Fastlane Debbie, who just is...
He wakes up.
Been starved for sex for a year.
He has woken up with a bullet wound in his shoulder, and she is just sitting on top of him, straddling him. At the very next, she's basically almost sticking her tongue down his throat. Like, he doesn't know who the fuck she is. And then she gets up and starts right about to undress. Like, she's getting ready to fuck him. I'm like, he's conscious. He's been around. He's been physically awake for not even the span of a minute. And you're really going to throw this guy? This guy's probably in pain. He's got a hangover. I don't know about you, but if I got a hangover, like, I am not in the mood at all for merrymaking.
This man. You have to see it from Debbie's perspective. He's attractive, and he's there. Because we have the two other male people that she can actually get with. Debbie, well, here, let's explain Debbie a little bit more. She's apparently a former stripper, because she had a whole scene.
Got a rockin' scene in that.
That is a thing.
Yeah, almost sleazed it up to the point necessary, but you didn't push it far enough. The only problem I had with that scene was that it comes the bumfuck out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
So the thing is, though, like, even though the fun little scantily clad aspect of it is there and all that jazz, no sense. There's no context to it. At least Grindhouse had a fucking reason for Rose McGowan doing a go-go dance at the very beginning because it sets up the fucking scene.
All right, here's the two other guys. There is Lyle, who is the best way I can describe it is he's just like the farmhand, pretty much.
He's Lenny.
He's just fuck this
No,
guy.
I like Lenny.
I thought he was trying to go for comedic relief, but then they discovered that they just kind of appropriated it between every one of the characters.
Yeah.
So
he was just one part of it.
He was just one part of it, and he was the part that I just fucking despise because here is his introduction.
He's that one Jeff Dunham puppet that no one likes.
Here is
Take a pick.
His introduction. All right, we don't even see him, but his first action in the film is shooting our main character. Then we see him the first time dragging our main character. Then he spits tobacco out and lands on his face.
I thought it was going like Hills of Eyes.
Exactly, that's where I thought it was going with it too. It's like, oh, so it's like maybe the zombies.
I got another one, Paul.
Maybe the zombies aren't the real monsters. It's these hicks. But then they come back and he's being nursed back to health and he wakes up with a hot chick on top of him, so it ain't that bad. And then they talk over dinner pretty much. And Lyle's in there, he's like, yeah, I thought you was one of them. Bitch, I was driving a fucking car. I was speeding down 150 miles an hour, and you.
I know.
What?
He doesn't even say that.
No.
And I love how he just says, "You are fucking retarded."
Yeah,
and I'm like, I think that just basically reminds him, like, no. And the funny thing is, it never it literally is left at that.
Yeah.
This is considered to be his legitimate reason for shooting him.
Yeah. Fuck this guy.
No.
Fuck this guy.
No, how did this guy survive a year?
Anyway, then there's...
He'd fail the Facebook quiz.
Then there's Ricky, who is Allison's brother. As soon as Lyle died, he inherited the I hate this kid the most award. Because I hate this kid. Just because he does nothing.
Especially that one point where they're running away from the Zarni, the funny guy, and whatnot, with a fucking chainsaw.
Just
and he's like, he just stops. Like, I'm tired.
Allison, I'm tired.
The only point I give this kid, the only good point, is that when they unveil the wall of weapons, he picks the AK-47. And he has a black bandana on. I'm like, all right, this kid's about to kick gas, and then no.
Hunter Craig took his gun away. He's like, what are you doing?
I'm like, and also at the same time, like, who wouldn't choose the AK? I'm just saying, like, it's the most reliable assault rifle.
At that point, though.
And apparently these zombies don't go by traditional zombie rules. You can shoot them fucking anywhere as long as you do it enough.
I'll get to that in a second. That's the part that I, freaked out over.
You're breaking the rules.
When it comes to Ricky's stuff, when it came to that scene of taking away the gun, I was torn because, yes, I feel that in a zombie apocalypse, especially if you're facing down your death, you should get a weapon. Yeah, but I was torn because, fuck that kid. I hate that kid. I wanted him to die. And then the last character...
Ozark.
The last character
I shall call him Ozark.
Last character is Jerry, who is essentially...
He shall be fine.
If you watch Walking Dead, if you don't, I guess...
Carl!
Spoiler. Jerry is essentially the... oh, God, why am I forgetting his name?
Rick?
No, older. Second season. Old guy with the farm.
Herschel?
Yeah, Herschel. I feel it's up with Will for some reason, like Wilfred or something. I don't know. Herschel.
So Herschel.
Yeah, he's basically the Herschel, and because he doesn't really fight that much, and every single time he does go around, he's like, "I'm getting too old for this shit."
Too old. What's going on over there? I'm getting too old.
Yeah,
I'm getting too old. And what's going on?
Jerry, you're having a stroke. That's what's going on. Just chill out there, buddy.
And then he gets eaten by people.
Just out of fucking nowhere. He's sitting in the plane, he's like, damn, we don't have any gas. Hey, do we have any gas? Oh my god! No! Jerry done. Yeah, okay. On those zombies, they don't operate by standard rules. They don't
operate by any fucking rules.
What these are, they are not virus-born, they are not magic-born.
They
are essentially...
They are manufactured.
They are manufactured. They are drug-induced zombies. They cannot spread their disease as far as I can tell, because people were bitten and they just, hung out.
I don't know. It doesn't say whether or not that...
I don't think it spreads.
Because every single time, well, we were never either A, around long enough,
right?
B, the characters usually get like fucking decapitated or something like that. So there's no coming back from that anyway. But the thing is, like, I understand where it's kind of like perplexing about that, but it's just also, how did the entire world go to shit?
That's the issue. The entire thing is that this Pepto drug is taking the world by storm.
Did it do a doomsday thing where they closed off the country from the rest of the world?
Well, no, every junkie who ever used it turned into this thing eventually. That's what the plot was eventually getting around to. It never quite hit it. It just said, hey, here's a bit of exposition, please believe it. And then it moved on with the story. But at that point, though, there's two major problems. One, how did it take this much of the population? Like, okay, they're zombies. Zombies freak people out. Zombies can kill people because they have no mercy and no soul to fucking do whatever. Fine. That's believable. It could kill off a percentage of the population. But enough to make Craig believe that he is the only person on whatever continent he's
and only
on.
About a year.
Yeah. The amount of people you'd have to kill is just insane. And I don't think there's that many junkies, especially people who would try this drug and see, you know, maybe the high isn't that good.
And also, the thing is, it apparently wasn't like a hyper-addictive drug or something like that.
No.
Alright, this kind of reminds me, I was saying during the movie, like, it's almost like this is what would happen after A Scanner Darkly. Because in A Scanner Darkly, in this world, in Philip K. Dick's world, Substance D is this drug that's coming from an unknown country and whatnot, and 20% of the population were classified as addicts. And when I said, like, alright, I can get that. But the thing is, though, it doesn't explain how the rest of the percentage of the people were able to be killed off by it, where these people just kind of like a non-contagious form of the rage virus, where people were just kind of like running around beating the shit out of people.
Was there a guy who just went door to door saying, hello, moving on?
I mean, and there was obviously, the problem is, this is actually kind of out of Red Letter Media's territory. When it comes down to the exposition in this movie, it's relying on the audience to accept too many things that are and are not said.
Yeah.
Because we don't know, we're just assuming, like, alright, this is just what causes the zombies, and then we're and then just normal zombies.
Well, that's the second thing. They're the not normal zombies.
They're not even, they don't follow stereotypical
Okay, well, yeah,
roles.
we can go to that. But I believe that. As long as we're going by they're all just junkies, they're not actual zombies, if you kill the junkie, you kill the zombie. Yeah. I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to believe that they got, like, that like their body is falling apart because of the drugs. I'm willing to believe that because there are drugs that do that. But
the problem is the zombies in this movie don't replicate that. They don't. They look like they're they look like the training wheels versions of the shit out of The Walking Dead. Like some of the zombie effects is okay and they're decent and whatnot. The practical effects are not good. They're mostly done off screen for the most part. And the only time you see them on screen is that they're heavily digitalized.
Well, that's the next thing I want to talk about. They don't go by normal zombie rules, but at the same time, there's two totally different breeds of zombies. Completely okay, these are junkies. These are people who then turn into these. There is no mention of a genetic modification by an umbrella corporation-esque thing. There is nothing to say why giant boomer zombies are just walking around as essentially the leaders of the pack every once in a while. What? Here's my revelation, though. See if this is what I blew my mind about earlier. What if, just fucking assuming, that this drug is whatever, that these are people who were like bodybuilders and did steroid injections, and then they tried this stuff injection, and they were that big because they were the bodybuilders. I don't say that as a final fact, though, because of one simple reason. All the other zombies, the little zombies, the non-digitally animated zombies, they had unique features. They had hair. They had clothes. They had faces. They had genders. They were people. For all intents and purposes, people. Every digitally animated zombie was an exact carbon copy and moved in the exact same way as every other digitally animated zombie. Which? There
was one that didn't have any legs. I'm not even kidding. It was at the very end. It's only on screen for like not even 2 seconds.
I was going to say, I missed it entirely.
Like, he just comes out.
Are you sure that he wasn't like
no,
bent over?
There was 2 of them, and then all of a sudden a third one just pops out of nowhere and then pops away. And then you never see him again. And whatnot. That guy, I remember seeing him, was like, he did not have fucking legs. Now, either they intended that to happen, or they did not render the full fucking thing. Either way, he did not have legs.
And here's the other thing. These big motherfuckers. They get shot. They're fine. They get tons of shit done to them.
We'll call them the BAMFs.
Yeah. They're fine. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They're stupid, mind you, but they're fine. What finally kills one? One? A car running over it twice. That's it.
What kills another one
Just a car.
is a axe. This is what kills Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
An axe that chops him in the gut and chops off his arm. And that kills him.
No.
But, however, when Hunter, or Craig, is shooting this guy repeatedly with a machine gun, with a shotgun, with a handgun, nothing's going on until he finally drops a fucking grenade on a goddamn puddle of gasoline.
Yeah. Which raises the question. In the very last shot, we mentioned before, he was holding up the gun and he's like, I hope I got one more bullet. Click. Oh, damn. What was that last fucking pistol bullet
going to do? Just make you feel better?
It's like, well, I've unloaded my entire clip and I didn't waste time trying to pull the trigger again. Guess I better get this grenade so I can run safely to that car over there.
You can still throw it.
Hold it.
You could do the sharp.
Hold it. Dink. Well, better leave now.
But the thing is, like, you could have done the shark thing. You could have done the Jaws thing and whatnot, shoving it in his mouth. It's like, smile, son of a bitch. But
he stole enough other shit.
Yeah. The reasoning of this movie doesn't work because there is none. And the parts that when they actually... And I'm saying anything like, all right, when it comes down to The Walking Dead, I'm not an avid watcher. I'm not an avid reader of the comic books. I do like them, but I'm not, like, ferocious into it. But at the same time, the reason that the show and the comics, the story in and of itself, attracted me, because it wasn't just about the zombies. It was primarily about how the people existed. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that every movie needs to be a fucking, social commentary, because there's plenty of great post-apocalyptic zombie films that are just fantastic in and of themselves. The remake of Dawn of the Dead is great, actually. Like, that's one of the few remakes, especially from George Romero, I love. But at the same time... The problem is with this movie is that it has no focus. Nope. It has absolutely no focus. And I'm surprised so many fucking people were involved in making this. So this was a project for a lot of people. And I hope they all had fun. But at the same time, guys, you are confusing the shit out of your audience.
The best example of that there's no focus is this guy, Craig. He has a Rorschach Journal-esque narration throughout the entirety of the movie.
He's trying to imitate way too many characters.
It's comic book yellow boxes. That's all it is.
If you guys ever checked out any of the original Hellblazer comics with John Constantine, the show's coming out. It's... I gotta plug a show I want to watch.
Way to date the show here. Great
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. But at the same time, though, it's very much like that. It's dark. It's brooding. It's all like puffing on a cigarette constantly and shit.
No. That's what the character wants to be. This is bright, happy 80s synth.
No, I know, exactly. Like, that's the monologues, the overall writing style. We call it that. The overall writing style does not match the actual film. It sounds like it should come more out of Sin City. That would be awesome. Sin City meets zombies. Asylum, do it! When Sin City 2 comes out, do it!
Alright, and the other thing is, this guy has this narration.
Like an army of yellow bastards.
And when it comes to the focus, sometimes they just give narration to Allison. Just randomly. Just fuck it.
I was expecting it out of the kid at one point and whatnot. It's like, I really wanted to masturbate again today.
I kind of want a bagel. He was just not there.
And all these people were impolite and foul to each other. Not all of them, but most of them.
I understand an apocalypse manners are the first thing to go by the wayside, but guys,
you're living together.
If you're in a truck, and there is a hot woman, Matt, sitting next to you, which I am the 15-year-old here, you don't just do this. So you want me to put in the tape? You just want me to put it in like this?
Yeah.
Put it in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, somehow I thought that was appropriate. Fucking idiot. Give your final thoughts, because I'm kind of done.
The apocalypse... Okay, like... I don't think this movie's that deep. I don't think this movie when it comes down to taking into these types... When it comes down to taking in archetypes of human beings into account when it came down to this movie. This isn't like Doomsday, where it takes what happens to the society and then just basically shows the polar opposites of it, and it's so in different extremes. Now, I will say, though, I did like the idea of the town of Dahmer and whatnot, that of all the people who are eating all of the other people or the dead people and whatnot, and they get crazy off the flesh. That was a cool idea. I wanted to see that. The problem being they only had one fucking character in the whole town.
You pause for a second, because I'm going to ruin this. That's the Town of the Crazies from Jim Kyle.
Oh, I know. I know. It's the Crazies.
Yeah.
It's the Crazies in and of themselves. For some reason, the entire town is insane. But you know what? I like that. Because it works. And I don't give a shit what movies have made it. You know, it's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of the Silent Hill thing. Like, it's really not in and of itself, but like, it's a town with an ominous feeling toward it, and all the inhabitants of the town, for one reason or another, have completely gone insane. And regardless of whether or not they're trying to help or to hurt you, they're still going to try to kill you. It's kind of like American McGee's Alice. It's great.
Well, that's what you want. What about this movie?
This movie in and of itself, you had twinges of good things in it, and it was kind of lame. You didn't use Danny Trejo to his full ability. Give him full-ass monologues, man. Like, there was this one conversation. He actually has a dialogue back and forth. It's poorly shot. It's lit it's almost like straight-up studio lighting with 3 camera setups.
Probably was, actually.
Like, I'm like, you're squandering. You have the money to hire Danny Trejo for whatever amount of time. It's like, and I know
15 minutes.
No, I understand that I have a limited amount of time to work with some actors and whatnot. I get that. But at the same time, though, the amount of time you have, use him. Use his character as much. I chose this movie. And this is the end of my spiel here. I chose this movie because, for 2 reasons. One, the poster. You have this giant picture of Danny Trejo in a priest outfit wielding an axe. And I'm like, and it says Zombie Hunter. And then in the bio, it says Hunter going around and whatnot, just a car full of booze and guns and whatnot. And I'm like, the entirety of that setup makes it seem that Danny Trejo is the lead character. Not even fucking close. He is the first of the main characters. No, actually, no. Lyle. He's not. Lyle is the first of the main characters. But he's one of the first of the should have survived characters that gets killed.
No. Danny Trejo should have died. Danny Trejo character had died.
Danny Trejo should have died at the end, and at the end he should have gone out holding a fucking grenade, and he should have shoved it down the guy's throat or something like that, and give him a couple crazy one-liners. Use him to his potential. Dude, the guy was in Breaking Bad. He's got fucking appeal. That's why you put him on the goddamn poster. He's first listed in the credits above the main actor.
Well, maybe one of the 37 producers didn't want him on there.
You know what? You have Danny Trejo. It's kind of like when we watch Succubus and also Gary Busey shows up. He's in that for like a 5-minute scene, and then he's fucking gone. And like, you can't use these great, literally insane actors in these types of setups and not use them to their full potential, because that's going to make me get prejudiced against your movie even more.
My turn. I'm going to try to be more short and sweet with this.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's cool. What can I say about this? He picked it. I wasn't that fond of the pick, mainly because I've never been into Danny Trejo. I find his super testosterone-filled, fun explosion fest. It's whatever. It's there. It seems something like it's exactly what the Machete trailer was made out to be. Where it's just like, here is the manliest thing you've ever seen ever. Machete. That's what I see all of Danny Trejo's films are, except for like the Spy Kids trilogy, and that's a whole different mess of shit there. When it comes down to this particular film, since it's not a Danny Trejo film, as we found out, it does everything in the weirdest way. It's like somebody had an idea of where the story was to go. It's like, all right, we're going to have a group of survivors. We're going to have them try to get to a plane, and we're going to have like one or two things get in their way, and the plane thing doesn't actually really work out. Okay, that's your basic plot. But then they just fucking did the most random shit in between, throwing in as much sex appeal and as much stupid-ass one-liners throughout the entirety of the film.
It was very poorly delivered,
It was essentially all they were trying to do with their 37 producers, not actual count, but I swear to God we're very close.
We're in the double digits here.
Definitely. We were sitting there counting every single time another producer credit came up with like,
it's like 20 seconds of producer credits.
There's 4 more. There's 3 more. There's 5 more. Fuck, dude. You can trim it down
Executive,
to like 2.
associate, co-associate, co-executive associate.
It honestly makes me think that this might have been like a Kickstarter film.
That makes sense.
Where people paid.
That makes a lot of sense. And to be honest, actually, if it is, brava. Because this isn't, to be fair, this is his first movie.
Yeah.
Not a bad debut for someone who's starting off in low-rent horror.
However, for this film,
still not scary.
If we ignore that it's a first film, if we start the film at the first minute of like live action footage being seen, and stop the film just after the credits or just before the credits begin, if we just look at that, ignore all outside things, it's not really a good zombie film in any given way. The zombies aren't interesting. The action isn't interesting. The social politics and like commentary isn't even fucking there. He has a backstory about his wife and daughter dying. Fuck that. It doesn't matter. He has all this shit.
Maybe it was like an anti-drinking and binging PSA.
I guess. He has all this shit.
I went out drinking. One drink, then I wore the lampshade on my head. And I'm shooting up anything I can get a hold of. Okay, you have a problem.
And it's implied that he shot up this shit. That he shot up Pepto.
Once.
And that he didn't do it. So I guess it isn't just one.
Well, it's like, that's why. It was like he's in his veins. And that's why he didn't die, apparently. Like, he's like, they can never do the job right.
I guess it isn't.
So I just, I can only do it myself.
Fucking whatever. Point being,
Fuck
it just went for the most appealing thing, right down to the I Am Legend ending. Not the alternate one, which many people agree is better. The one that was shown with the fucking movie, where it's like, I'll sacrifice myself so you can live. Oh, well, I guess we're gonna be fine. Fuck that. No. You're not. You're all gonna
fucking die.
You're so dead. You are fucking.
In one part in the line, they actually do say that. It's like, no, the kid's right. We're all. It's like sooner or later that door is not going to hold anymore. We're all going to die.
Didn't mean that they were going to die as soon as the zombies got through the door. It meant they were just going to fucking die. Which is, yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, what do I say about this movie? It's not great. It's there. It's okay. It's not great. Is it good? Well, that depends on your qualifications of good.
Sure.
It's very tongue-in-cheek.
Sure.
It's very tongue-in-cheek. It knows when it does something, and it's like, yeah, you see what we did there? Because normally in the thing, you get it. That's what it does. So, am I happy we saw this? No. Fuck that. Am I much happier compared to other films? Yeah. Yeah, because at least it had stuff. It had at least inklings of stuff. Other films don't even get stuff. This film had stuff.
Stuff was in this. And stuff was happening.
It was poorly arranged. It was poorly timed. It was poorly delivered. But it was stuff.
Shit went down.
And that is all I have to say about Zombie Hunter 2013, starring Danny Trejo. Fuck. All right. Well, made it through another review. What do you think? We gonna be able to do another one? We gonna make it through another bad film? Eh?
No.
No.
No. No, I really don't think we are.
Well, I guess you can't always just cop out for the satisfying ending like some movies do. Them's the breaks, I guess. Penis.